Today I want to talk to you a little bit about a man called EDP445, the cockroach of YouTube, a name that strikes fear into the hearts and the minds of parents and children alike. And for good reason. The man was caught red-handed trying to meet up and have sex with a girl who he thought was 14. He lied and said he was trying to get some cupcakes, and therefore it has become the cupcake incident. It is something of a meme now, which is kind of sad whenever somebody trying to meet up and fuck a minor becomes a meme, but hey, it is what it is. The man has since tried to come back to YouTube and other social media platforms every year. He had a TikTok up until recently. According to his personal website, it has 1 million followers. It has since been terminated, so that's good. But it is kind of alarming that the man just keeps relentlessly trying to come back. His most recent attempt to come back to the platform has been a news post, actually, on said website. It's called "The Events That Led to My Setup." Very convincing. I want to go into specific details about the events that led to my setup because I don't feel like it was entirely clear in the video that I released. I don't know what video he released. Yeah, I don't know what video he's talking about. Maybe it's this one.
Listen, motherfucker, all right? If you honestly believe that I would throw my life away, right, for a bitch that doesn't even have hair on her for a that probably doesn't even know her ABCs, for a that can't even count to 100, for a that needs to have her nose up in the textbooks, my nigga. If you honestly believe that I'm a motherfucker, you're fucking high.
In which case, yeah, it's definitely not clear at all. You actually seem quite confident that nobody could ever expose you after being exposed. Anyway, he alleges, I received an email from Chet Goldstein, that's the piece of shit who exposed him, that's a story for another time, who claimed he was with Wavelength Productions. He told me he had a film opportunity and wanted to know if I was interested. The email didn't address what type of film it was or what type of role I would be potentially acting out if I was selected. I responded to him and told him I was interested. As I had stated in the video, I deleted all my emails, and unfortunately this is one of the emails I was unable to retrieve and forward to my attorney. Okay. Chet informed me that Kyle was impressed with my work on the film, maybe next year, and that he wanted to give me a shot to try out for the part. He informed me that he was still trying to hash out details with a co-actor and a cameraman, and didn't have a set date, time, and location, but he would contact me as soon as they did. And he gives you the tiniest little photo that they can manage to show you what he's talking about. And this is so goofy looking. I kind of want to just compare this to actual Gmail. This looks like it's supposed to be the desktop version of Gmail, so I'm going to pull up my own personal Gmail here. Actually, I got a really shitty email today about ChatGPT. All right, so right off the bat, you're going to notice that with this email of mine that I got yesterday, actually, everything is lined up on the left. If you take a look on the left, everything is in a straight line. And this 20 pixel image that he's got here, you can still clearly tell that nothing is lined up. The body of the email is far to the left of the Chet Goldstein. The little circle with a C in it isn't even correct, like it would be centered and not off up and to the right. So this is pretty clearly a fake email. It's fake, okay? Chet sent me a short email asking me if I knew where 2505 Mount Vernon Avenue, Bakersfield, California was and if it was close by. Unfortunately, this email was lost too. I couldn't fake that one in time. I didn't get back to him till the 9th. I looked at the location. It showed that it was a Rite Aid about 16 minutes away from me. And It's the most ridiculous shit. He talks about how he arrived at the Rite Aid at about 1:50, met up with Javier and the cameraman. He walked to an apartment complex next to the Rite Aid where he met Chet. The ideal place to be having an audition. It is exactly what you want. Now, I do want to say that this is all bullshit. Even... Let's pretend that you buy these emails, or maybe he did a perfect job photoshopping these emails, right? Which he did not. These are horrible, horrible Photoshop jobs. He didn't even try to get them right. Despicable, really. Anyway, let's suspend disbelief for a minute and pretend like we believe that these emails are real, right? And that these Photoshop jobs were perfect. I would still be saying, hey, you're going to agree to audition for a role when you don't know what it is. You take every role that somebody throws at you, you're going to audition for something blindly. And even then, once you read the lines that you're supposed to deliver, you weren't going to be like, oh, so I'm supposed to be like a pedophile here. That's what you want me to do? You want me to be a pedo? I would disagree pretty wholeheartedly with that personally. And I feel like you might too, especially given your previous allegations of trying to hook up with your underage audience. Yeah, it's not an isolated incident by any means. He focuses really hard on this Rite Aid, okay? I arrived at the Rite Aid at 1:50 p.m. and met up with Javier. Then we walked over to an apartment complex next to the Rite Aid where I met Chet. I know that there's an eyewitness out there that drove by the Rite Aid and filmed me and Javier having our conversation when we first met up. That person yelled out the window. I noticed that the person was holding a phone out the window and filming us. It's so funny, man. I really like that there's comments on his website. I do not recommend that you go and leave a comment for him. Please don't harass the man. Okay, I think he's dealing with enough as it is, although he should be in jail, but hey, it is what it is. This one says, you moron, you need better skills at Photoshop, from Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Nah, you lying, from Cupcake. You can clearly see that screenshot of the email is fake and photoshopped. You need to stop lying because nobody believes in you and seek professional help. That is actually good advice. If, God forbid, there's anybody watching this video that feels some kind of way about minors, please, 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 for the love of God, you need to seek professional help. You need to tell somebody about that and get some help before you end up doing something that destroys one or perhaps two lives. It destroys your life, your victim's life, and the victim's family's lives, and maybe your family's lives. Tons of lives get affected because you wouldn't seek help and you did something extremely selfish and extremely short-sighted. Moving on. Even a child could have fabricated this better. That is true. This is a horribly bad job. I understand how cruel the world is, EDP. I believe you, and I'm sorry you had to go through this. That guy, Chet, is a real monster in this situation. Now, this guy, Robert, here. It's sad. I mean, pretty clearly a kid, I think. Wrong, too. Unfortunate. Now, he is partially right here. That guy, Chet, is a real monster. He's a piece of shit. But he's not the real monster in this situation. That would be EDP445. Bryant. I don't remember his actual name. Oh, well. This one just says, bruh, from Balls Gamer. That's a good one. You can't retrofit multiple allegations paired with you being caught in the sting. Your arguments may be more substantiated if this was an isolated incident, but it was not. That's the biggest hindrance. It's not the biggest one. This is the biggest one.
Most definitely, this is not your first time either, right?
Right.
This is absolutely not.
Whoa.
This actually is my first time.
You just said it wasn't your first time.
Yeah, that was
Second time?
that was a bit rough on that one, EDP.
First time.
Accept and move on. Better yourself, and maybe your life will be on a different trajectory. But it's not because you can't do that. Hey, facts. Bro, didn't you tell Dom that you never met those guys before? You lying OD now. Mike, good stuff. I see. So this is all an elaborate setup done by Chet. Lots of damning evidence here. No, there's not. You can tell that this is real too, since you decided to address everything instead of ignoring any aspect. No, he didn't. No idea what everyone is crying about. If anything, this is a robbery of your freedom. Your life is practically ruined thanks to some weirdo's antics. I guess that's how it goes these days. That sucks eggs. Sorry for the random caps. My keyboard is having issues. Hey, you know, I can appreciate the random caps, honestly. You got to type with what you got. That being said, Joe, please look at these. Just look at these emails. Compare them to your emails, okay? They're fake. There's a reason he only included the lowest resolution that he could possibly export from GIMP, okay? He just said that the only people that believe him are kids. Like, if anything, those are the people that should be keeping their distance from him. But it's hard to convince a kid that a person that they like did something that is bad. So, hell, it's hard to convince an adult somebody that they like did something bad. It is what it is. Anyway, just thought I'd talk about this a little bit. Thanks a lot. Later.